Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! G'day humans, today's video is about the M249. This is a video that has some kind of cult following on my YouTube channel. Not the video, sorry, the gun, the M249. I don't like it, and I'm giving in here. This is pandering of the highest order to those who just won't shut up. There is a small sect of grubs who live the hashtag 150 life, and this is for them. Led by the inimitable stylings of Johnny the Plunger Barry. Now, I'm going to show you some stuff you've never seen about this gun before, at least some concepts. And I promise you, I've never talked to anyone who's talked about this stuff with me before. It can be a successful weapon, okay? All the guns in PUBG Mobile, Mark 47 Mutant included, can be successful weapons. It's not about that. The M249 issue is that what do you have to give up for it to be a successful weapon? And there is certainly some sacrifices required to run this thing as your primary, or indeed as your secondary. Let's run through the bare bones of it first and foremost. It's got a 41 base damage round, 40.9, whatever you want to say, you know, tomato, tomato. Looking at an M416 base damage, it does fire faster than an M416. It does 706 rounds per minute, as opposed to the M4's 638. So you might be thinking, that's great. But the M4 is not beloved for its incredible stopping power. It's the recoil that gets it done. And that's where the M249 falls over. So some people will actually run an M416 as their primary weapon. And that's fair enough. It's a great gun. Everyone loves using it. It's an easy click. But the M249 isn't like that. Its best case scenario, and the thing it does absolutely best, and I will show you a video of this at the end where we won a game recently and the M249 was great for it, is in CQC situations where there are a lot of bodies flying around, what the M249 gives you is the ability to not have to reload. 150 rounds takes a long time to get rid of. And that means that you get the ability to, you know, just rumble around firing and pre-firing constantly while the enemy has to try to reset and reload. And that gives you those opportunities to push forward and make beautiful music together. It's got a very, very odd recoil profile. Its recoil isn't super destructive at close range. And it's not even that hard to use a red dot with the M249. But if you want to spray with it, then it's inconsistent at best, okay? And that's fair enough. I mean, it runs 150 rounds with an extended mag and 75 outside. The big issue is that you're competing with other things in this studio space that are just so much better. The UMP, watch this. This is me versus UMP with the M249. I'm going to show you the death replay from this guy. He does not even ADS. Because the UMP is better as a CQC weapon. It just does the job better. And the same can be said for guns like the AK or the Ace-32 in my opinion, or the Mark 14. These are all guns that just do that job better. The M249 is great. If the M416 was the only other primary slot weapon available, you could say, well, it's better for CQC than the M416, and you might have a case. But then you have the secondary slot issue, where if you want to run a sniper rifle, then you've got to run this thing in your primary slot, and that's not great. Or what if you want to run a UMP? What are you going to use M249 for? Like, it's not incredible at spraying. So you've got this thing where it's a man without a home. I'm going to show you a clip I recorded earlier today, and this is a secret I found about using the M249 as a secondary slot spray weapon. Watch on. So I want to show you something cool about the M249, which I discovered in testing. And this is something that is specifically about the M249. No other gun that I can see anyway. The M249's big issue for a lot of people is that you can't spray with it. A lot of people rely on this gun here, like the M416. You lie down, you're at range, and you just start drilling people over there because it's got very, very little recoil. But the problem you have when you do that with the M249, when you lie down, the recoil is not normal. It's incredibly weird. And the reason for that is the M249 has the strangest recoil pattern in the game. And I've talked to devs about this years ago, and they say it's intentional. And I'm going to show you something. Watch this. This is how crazy this is, okay? I'm just going to hit the fire button with 150 rounds. The recoil is going to go right to left and very, very slightly vertically. Right to left and very, very slightly vertically. Look at this. In 150 rounds, it went from there to there. Now, you all know how good the recoil and how light the recoil is on this gun. In 40 rounds, this is going to go from there to there. That's how little vertical recoil the M249 has when prone. It has none. But the problem is it has huge swaying recoil. So you end up going like all the way left and all the way right. See how it's moving left and right but not up? That's not good when you're trying to spray a target that is moving like that, side to side, because it's literally dodging the target as you're firing the gun. There is, however, something called experimentation. And for this, we need to remove the bullet shield, because I will show you now, this is pretty cool, the difference between, this is trying to spray with an M249 at range. Now, admittedly, this is well beyond the range you'd probably use to spray with it normally. But it's not going above the target, right? It's just going to the left and the right of the target. What could you do to alleviate that? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm one of the few humans in the world that uses the canted sight. And the canted sight on the M249 is way more effective than it is on any other weapon. And it's an odd thing, this. And I'm going to tell you why. It's pretty strange. Using the canted sight changes your recoil profile from, I'll give you, just this is a really easy way to show it. Say this is your recoil profile. It's going, instead of straight up with little moves left to right, your recoil profile is going slowly up, but moving right to left constantly, okay? Just a straight line of right to left. So you just get no recoil vertically, but you get lots and lots of horizontal recoil. When you change the canted sight, you put the gun on its side, and so suddenly the recoil is going slightly that direction and slightly up and down at a 45-degree angle. So you've got like a Y-shaped recoil pattern, which is a lot easier to get used to. You can see how the gun is actually trying to climb over the top. It's weird to get used to, but once you do, you can make it a better spraying weapon. Now, the downside of that is obviously it limits the range, because you can't spray with a 6X at 250 meters like you can with an M4, and you're never going to be able to. But if you want to use it to strip a car, like, and blow a car up, or do something along those lines, or just to generally suppress, then it's going to be a better option for you. Yeah, so using a canted sight in M249 makes some of those range sprays a lot more viable. But let's be honest, the big ticket item for the M249 is those engagements where you just don't have to reload. That's really it. And to do that, you've got to have access to an extended AR mag. Its reload is obscene, as you just saw there. It's so long that it stops it. Like, if you have to reload in the middle of a gunfight with this gun, that is such a huge risk. I mean, it's the reason you carry 2 full auto weapons when you're running with this gun. It really does limit the ability to run with this gun and use it as a primary with a sniper rifle. If you're running Bolty M249, you are praying that you never have to have a reload or get caught mid-gunfight reloading the weapon, or you're going to have struggles. Let's be honest, you're going to be dead, right? So you're looking at a gun that has real tactical flaws, and the payoff for those tactical flaws, they're not that good. I mean, you've got to manufacture a way to use it effectively at extreme ranges. You've got to... I mean, the gun shield doesn't do much. It only really works if you're holding the gun way up in the air when you're crawling around. It doesn't work if you're just holding it in front of you because your head is above the gun shield. You know, it's not great. There's just not a lot of positivity. I'm going to showcase a little bit at the end here, and I want you to watch it. This is a gameplay on Miramar where we're in San Martin, and I didn't feel comfortable reloading the gun, and I didn't have to. Anyway, and at the end of this, you'll hear a little homage to Johnny Barry. Enjoy, boys and girls. I hope you like it. And remember to like the videos. Stay safe over Chrissy. And just have a giggle.
Getting the res behind the C-can. No, they're right here. They're right in the corner. Good door. One's knocked.
Yeah, but we're out. Oh, okay, yeah.
One was knocked. He's getting the res right in the middle there. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
It's you and him.
One left. I don't know what happened to the other ones, but one left. Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Awesome.
Somewhere at a desk in Queensland, a man just got a half mongrel and he doesn't know why.